So now many people from Ukraine, even some lawyers like Valentin Zagaria, I'm also working on lobbying law to cancel Russia immunity. What does it mean? It means that if your parliament will vote for that, Ukrainian business and also people who lose their houses or who have very deep trauma like raping women can sue in United States against Russia and have compensation from oligarchs' money here or from Russia assets here. And it's huge money, really. Can you give to us perspective of this idea from the part of lobbying work and from the part also of work of lawyers?
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about that a little bit. And Katya just referred to a couple of very important issues. There's a lot of frozen Russian money. I mean, I read different reports. I was looking at something just now that said that there are 7 countries that have collectively $284 billion of frozen Russian money from the Central Bank of Russia. Do a fair amount of the Marshall Plan. I mean, that would certainly be a good down payment of it. And a lot is frozen in the U.S. Apparently, I didn't know this. France and Japan have even more, but the U.S., according to what I'm reading, is about $40 billion. Logically, you might think that there are ways for victims to get access to that money, but it's pretty difficult. The U.S., like pretty much all countries, gives sovereign immunity to foreign countries. And that sovereign immunity means basically you can't sue a foreign government, no matter what they've done, with exceptions that are important and that get talked about increasingly. And there's an extensive history of lawsuits against foreign governments. Some of them have ultimately not prevailed, some such as the victims back in the 80s. There was a Pan Am jet over Scotland that blew up. It was clearly shown to be Libyan terrorists. And over Scotland, of course, everyone on the airplane perished, close to 300 people. That seems like the kind of atrocity that should invite access to courts, but it really took a couple decades to get actual recovery from Libya. There are other examples too. There are lawsuits that have been filed against Iran for its participation in the Hezbollah's murder of 200 Marines. Again, the reason I talk about these cases from long ago is because they take a very long time to work their way through the courts. Things could be different this time, but one of the most significant things would be what Katya's talking about. Would the Congress of the United States, with the signature of the President, actually eliminate Russian sovereign immunity? And if so, would that create access to victims? It certainly would, to the assets that are already here in the United States. Or would the United States want to go in a different direction? And either through the Justice Department or through the exercise of executive authority, take control of those assets. Perhaps to repatriate them in some way to Ukraine, perhaps to simply fund some of our own efforts at helping rebuild